I've talked about comedy before on this channel, especially the old movie comic. You know, the Abbott and Costello, the Laurel and Hardy, the Marx Brothers, the Red Skelton, the Danny Kaye, you know, Lucy and Desi, the Long Long Trailer. You know, it's old movies that were just hilarious. And, you know, the great Victor Borge, even though he's not movie, could be brought into that. And, well, some of them even away from the movies, such as Red Skelton as a stand-up. They could be brought into that. They're hilarious. There are times when I worry that we're losing our sense of humor. I saw a video, one of the rare ones that wasn't on YouTube. Most of the videos I watch like this are on YouTube, but I watched a video, a couple of people, very young, Gen Z, white, late teens, I'd say maybe early 20s, but I doubt that. And they were watching some of the TV shows that I grew up with. All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude, The Jeffersons. And they were, instead of seeing the humor in what was going on, they were getting more and more and more offended. Now, where I lost it, and I don't mean lost it like I got offended. I mean lost it like I about fell out of my chair laughing at them, was when they were watching some clips from Sanford and Son. There was one of those great insult fests between Red Fox and LaWanda Page, Fred Sanford and Ann Hester, going on, and they started referring to them as racist. I mean, wait a minute. You're calling two black people racist because they're insulting each other. No racial epithets in those insults. You know, it's things like, you know, on the page, you know, I'd rather kiss a saber-toothed jackass. You know, where's the racial, you know, where's the racism in that? But we've reached a point where people get too offended too easily. I did see a video on YouTube where they were going back to Don Rickles and one of his roasts. I think this one might have been of Sammy Davis Jr., may have been of Dean Martin, one of them. But it was one of the Dean Martin roasts anyway, and the people that were watching it, again, young Gen Z types, you know, they were saying he should be canceled. Well, since Don Rickles is dead, you don't get much more canceled. But, you know, let's just face fact. But for crying out loud, people, grow a sense of humor. Not everything has to be offensive. Sometimes the offense is the funny part. Because Don Rickles never meant any of that stuff. And Red Fox and LaWanda Page throwing back and forth to each other on Sanford and Son. Or, well, you got the same thing with Sherman Hemsley and, oh, I can't think of the actress that played the maid. But they used to go back and forth on the Jeffersons, very similarly. You had Rob Reiner and Carol O'Connor going back and forth on All in the Family. And, get a sense of humor. The stuff wasn't meant to be insulting. It was meant to be funny. Allow yourself to enjoy the sarcasm of it. Allow yourself to enjoy the fact that these people actually, in real life, were friends. They liked each other. They hung out together. They, quite often saw the world very similarly to each other. Some of them may have seen it very similarly to you, except for one thing. They didn't see it as offensive. We live only a certain amount of time. My daughter keeps telling me that I'm not allowed to die yet. I'm 70 years old. I'm getting awful close to what the actuaries say is my life expectancy. But I tell her, well, okay, my grandpa lived to be 81 years, 2 months. Your grandpa lived to be 82 years, 4 months. So I should hit 83 and a half. That's the mathematical progression. I had 14 months. So you got another 13 years to put up with me. And she thinks that's wonderful. Okay, well, I'm glad of that. But you're only going to live so long, whether it's like John Belushi and you're dead in your 30s, or the 27 Club, Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, and I think Kurt Cobain's in there too, where you're dead at 27, or whether you're like Bob Hope and George Burns and live to be 100. But one of these days, you're not going to live anymore. Do yourself a big favor, a great big favor. Quit being offended and upset by everything and just live, because you only get so long to do it.